Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Friday the 14th of May. Usual stuff, weather, airspace and airfield operations. Don't think it's going to be a long briefing today. Looking at the charts, this low pressure here has been tracking across us for about 3 or 4 days now, very slowly, just winding round, feeding decaying, dying fronts, little bands of rain here and there, and gaps. And we managed to squeeze a gap in yesterday afternoon from about 2 o'clock. And I have a funny feeling it's going to be the same today. It's going to be a bit slow to get clearance and get going, but we will get something hopefully this afternoon. Then as the evening goes on, this is coming through fairly quickly now. It's suddenly got a wiggle on these fronts here, and tomorrow this band of rain here will have cleared through in the morning, but we're then feeding in some very, very unstable air behind it. And the BBC sort of said, by lunchtime we're going to have heavy showers, rain, thunder and lightning and hail. The only thing they didn't include is plague and pestilence. So I think there might be a window tomorrow morning, but it sounds like it's going to be quite big showers and hefty ones from lunchtime onwards. So the wind today, if you look at the chart, here we're in the middle of it looks like a bit of a coal really, but there is a sort of circulation around this low pressure, and the 214 shows the wind going all over the place. So the Farnborough forecast is saying 0 to 9 knots, which I think is about what it is now. Fingers crossed it'll stay like that for most of the morning to early afternoon. They're saying between sort of 7 and 4 o'clock this afternoon, 0 to 9 knots. They're saying scattered at 3,000 feet. Well, I think it possibly will get to that later in the day, much later in the day, but initially between 7 and 11, 5,000 meters, broken at 400 feet, which is probably what we've got now with a bit of drizzle as well thrown in for the good measure. 214's got variable in here, northwesterly here, variable down here. I think a general easterly flow. Hopefully it'll stay fairly steady for most of the day and we won't be chasing the windsock around. Whatever the wind, you can see there's only 5 knots in any of the boxes here, so not strong. Satpic, as you would expect, in the middle of a low pressure, so there's lots of cloud. The brighter white lines here are areas of rain. There's a band of rain, and I think this is probably where that weak and decaying warm front is actually sitting, and you can see that from the sort of rainfall radar picture here. It's close to us, and you can see little bits of rain also feeding in here. It'll take time to dry out. I think it might not be the morning before this finally dries out and goes away, and hopefully we'll get something in the afternoon. Temperature wise, it's going to get quite warm this afternoon, warmer than yesterday, 14 maybe 15 degrees, which is about the seasonal average at the moment. And Top Meteo are giving the same sort of picture. They're showing the bits of rain in here, and as the day goes on, cloud base going up to 3,000 feet or 1,000 meters. Might even get some sunshine and a chance of soaring, but yesterday it was just weak local soaring, and I think it might be the same today. As the afternoon goes on, I think the front is still here, and that's 4 o'clock. We start to see a little bit more rain coming in. So I think the evening group, it'll be a bit of a lottery as to whether they get to fly or not. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, weather window, I think, for late morning, lunchtime onwards, hopefully. As it starts to improve, but not great, certainly not cross-country weather. Local soaring maybe this afternoon. The cloud amounts, as you'd expect, thinning out a little bit as the morning goes on, and then 7/8 cumulus, probably with just occasional gaps, and that then thickens up, and some showers in the afternoon. Okay, yeah, surprisingly, Top Meteo are suggesting that it is soarable and cross-countryable for a couple of 100k. I think that is a bit on the optimistic side, to be honest, looking at the forecast, but you never know. Airspace wise, not really a lot going on. Southampton, their hours of operation, so we're on a Friday, 7:45 to 8:30 in the evening, so they're operating all day. Salisbury Plain danger area, there's no crossing service available at the moment, and we've also got this UAV watchkeeper operation out of Keble that has its own restricted airspace of 3,500 feet above sea level, and that then operates into Salisbury Plain. I don't think it was operating yesterday. It'd be interesting to see if it's actually up and running today. Further afield, tomorrow you've got restricted airspace at Old Warden. I think this might be their first display of the season, and that normally coincides with a once-a-month display that they hold. And there's aerobatics at Sywell. Most of the day, to be honest. It seems to be taking place every day. Apart from that, fairly quiet locally. Operationally, we're beyond 0.9, I think, if the wind stays where it is now. There are no forecast jet movements. I haven't seen a flight plan at all for today, so hopefully we have the runway to ourselves for most of the day. If we do get flying, folks, we will see you out there. It's fingers crossed for late morning or after lunch.